Today, I hope I speak not only for our countries, but for all civilized nations when I say to the North, do not underestimate us and do not try us.
At the Korean National Assembly speech tonight, President Trump, as you heard there, took a strong, calculated stance against North Korea, staying on teleprompter to do it, speaking just miles from the DMZ separating the North from the South. He had a warning for the leader of the North.
Anyone who doubts the strength or determination of the United States should look to our past, and you will doubt it no longer. We will not permit America or our allies to be blackmailed or attacked. We will not allow American cities to be threatened with destruction. We will not be intimidated, and we will not let the worst atrocities in history be repeated here on this ground we fought and died so hard to secure.
So that was the meat of the speech, calculated, written out, disciplined, and tough talk, make no mistake. Elsewhere in the speech, though, perhaps a surprise to many in the audience in South Korea, a mention of his golf facility in North Jersey.
The Women's U.S. Open was held this year at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, and it just happened to be won by a great Korean golfer.
All righty then, let's bring back in our panelists who have been so patient. Philip Rucker, Kimberly Atkins, Peter Baker, back with us. Boy, Peter, I don't have a question here except what did you make of what we witnessed tonight?
Look, anywhere he gets a chance to tout the golf clubs, he's going to do it. He's shown that even in the most unlikely of settings. But what was interesting about the speech was it was meant to be tough. It was meant to send a signal, but it was not full of the fire and brimstone we've heard from the president in past weeks on this. He did not use the phrase fire and fury, which he used in August. He did not call Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man as he did in September. He didn't threaten to wipe the nation off the face of the earth. And in fact, earlier in the day, he said, you know, come to the table and make a deal, just a few weeks after he told his own Secretary of State publicly that negotiating was a waste of time. So we're seeing something of a mixed message, to say the least. Is he, in fact, pumping his chest in order to foreshadow a potential military confrontation, or is he opening the door to a genuine negotiated solution? We can't really tell. And I think that's sort of the thing that leaves the situation so uncertain and so unsettled for many allies in the region.
Phil, who do you reckon has their hands in what is the traveling foreign policy shop? Is it kind of a committee, as it has been in so many other administrations? We are seeing differences in these remarks from day to day.
That's right, but the speech that he delivered, the formal speech that he delivered a couple of hours ago, is very much in keeping with what the top national security advisors had previewed back in Washington before they departed on the trip. And Trump's top aides are with him on this trip, including General Kelly, the chief of staff, and General McMaster, the national security advisor. But the other thing that stuck out to me in this speech, Brian, is he really painted a picture of what life in North Korea is like under this regime. He described it as hell. He talked about a murderous regime in very dark terms. And then he painted a picture of South Korea, talking about South Korea's economy that's been booming for decades, about the political independence there. He even praised scientists and authors and writers and talked about the Olympics and really tried to draw a comparison out as he really tries to build support around the world to join this coalition against North Korea.
Yeah, Phil, to one of your points, I was really struck by how clinical and graphic the speech got at one point.
Very much so.
Dark. Wondering how that was injected into the speech. It's not the kind of thing you wanted children in the room to hear.
It's not, but we've seen this before in some of President Trump's speeches, including his inaugural address when he talked about American carnage. He likes this sort of graphic imagery. He spoke this way on the campaign trail a lot. He describes terrorists as animals. I mean, he likes to come up with really sort of visceral terminology when he's making his points.
Kimberly, you have to admit, yesterday's theme, though, from him was kind of, let's make a deal. Even in Japan, he was saying, you know, we can work something out. It was a little bit of outreach. Today, tonight, we are back to something closer to fire and fury.
I think that's right. I mean, I think we've heard the president say many times that he doesn't want his enemies to know what he's thinking, and he likes the element of surprise and unpredictability. So we're certainly seeing that play out in these very different words, very different approaches that we've seen in a matter of 24 hours. I mean, while he still has not gone all the way to calling Kim Jong-un pejorative names, it certainly was a lot stronger, a lot more resolute that, you know, either you put these, you stop this nuclear program or it's going to end very badly for you, and being really strong and resolute. So I think it's a way to keep the enemy guessing.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.